Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. It is me, it is I, it is she, it is thee, it is who? It is Rosie Rosette. Rosie Rosette who? Who? That black old 51-year-old woman who weighs 196.3 pounds? Yes, it's coming down slowly, real slowly. But it's me, it's Rosie Rosette 2020. Who? Who? It's me, Rosie Rosette 2020. Pow. I swear it's this man across the street standing at the bus stop. I think he's looking at me. He has, I hope, girl, I hope he doesn't have that suitcase, one to chop me up and put it in it. Listen, I was driving in San Francisco, and the first week I was driving in San Francisco, it was a man who cut up his roommate's body and put it in a suitcase and put it right in front of the Goodwill on Van Ness and Mission in San Francisco. Yeah, cause so I don't trust nobody. I need to go over there and be like, what the hell are you waiting for? But you know what? He could be catching the bus to Santa Cruz. Anyway, so let's talk about black men in jail in America. Now, I'm not going to throw any stats down, but I'm going to talk about what the effects having so many black men. Okay, I will. They're in California. I'm not gonna do the entire population, but maybe I will. In California, there's what 120. I think I said this in another video. There's 120,000 inmates in California. 120,000 inmates in California. 30% of those are black. So what is that? That's like what? 30%. We're talking, let's say 32, 34,000. Let's just give or take 36, whatever. Over 30,000 black men in prison in California, just in California. Okay, so let's talk about when a black man goes into the system. Let's talk about that because I saw a documentary about Rikers Rikers Island. I guess it's a jail somewhere in New York or upstate New York, where they were talking about people, men who were on solitary confinement. That's when you stay in jail in a cell for 23 hours a day, and then you have 1 hour to be out, in fresh air or whatever. Now, there's a lot of men in Rikers Island now, because this is what the documentary is on, but who are awaiting to have their cases heard. I'm talking months and years, maybe. I don't know about years, but I know definitely months, multiple months, where they're just waiting for their case to be heard or whatever. Now imagine, okay, so that man is gone. So imagine you doing a non-violent crime and you get stuck on Rikers Island. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. Rikers Island for months, fending for your life to wait a trial for a non-violent crime. Why is someone that has a non-violent crime and in Rikers Island on solitary confinement? Now, even if you aren't awaiting, they had one guy who was doing 25 to life or something like that. Now, if you have the possibility of parole, then why are you wasting these men's life? It's a waste. Now, I know that they're doing some reconstructing things where the younger, especially with the younger kids, they're interacting with them more. And, they're making them take classes either to finish high school or to finish college. Now, there it goes. There it goes. You hear that train? Oh my God. Anyway, the sound effects in my video. Why are we wasting these men's life? I mean, it's bad enough. Okay, so once they go in, They have to fend for their lives. I don't know the percentage of men getting raped or, becoming homosexual or on the DL or whatever to satisfy their sexual needs or whatever. Okay, then we got that. Then we have the separation from society. Then we have the fact that, the gangs and listen, you see what I have to go through? Let me hurry up with this. So, we have to worry about, the separation from society. Then we have to worry about them being immersed into that type of culture. And then they're spending all of this time in there. They're not being educated. They're not being, motivated. What are they aspiring to do? To do more crimes, to get out and to do, to get a job, to get an education, to get housing, to get food stamps, what? To get Medi-Cal, whatever. Like, they can't vote. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. What exactly are we using the penal system for? What are we using these jails for? Like, are we using them for profit? Now, in California, I have a real serious problem with, the fire departments in San Francisco. I mean, not in San Francisco, in California, Northern California, because there's a lot of forest fires in California because it's so dry here. Well, they use a lot of the prisoners to fight the fires. But yet the prisoners, so when the people who work for, I've made videos about this. The people who work for the fire department, they're probably making $100 an hour fighting on the line. But yet the prisoners, I think they're making like $2 an hour. How does that work? You're making $100, but yet you're making $2. Well, what is going on here? Oh, wait a minute. We got some police action here. What? What? Oh shoot! Wait a minute. Are these paddy wagons? What? Oh, it's a wide load. Oh, they're transporting something that's really wide. It almost looks, it's a building that they're transporting. There's like 20, no, it's about 10 cops, but it's a really wide load. Okay, so they're transporting because I was like, what is going on here? But they had to stop traffic. Okay. Lord, I'm not going to be able to remember what I was talking about. But anyway. Oh, God. Darn it. Okay. Whatever. I'm not just going to have to jump. So, they're already, okay, the fire. So, they're paying the firefighters $100 an hour, but yet they're paying, give or take 100. But they're paying the prisoners $2 an hour? Or $25 a day, something like that? No, no, no. And then they're not, well, okay, before they weren't able to get a job as firemen, but now Gavin Newsom, I think that he passed a bill where after they get out of jail that they can, that they can fight fires, which is a good thing. Like if they're good enough to fight it while they're in prison at $2 an hour, they sure should be able to get out and fight it for 100 or whatever, however much they make. I don't know. What do firefighters make? My stepfather used to be one. $100, I don't know, $70 an hour, whatever. I think they start at what, 70,000 a year. I don't know what they do. They work 3 days a week or something like that, 14 days a month. I don't know. Now that's a skill. Now that's a hard skill because to fight a fire in that heat in the forest, that's no joke. You can die, whatever. And the prisoners are the ones on the front line, not the people who are making $100. The prisoners are the ones. But see, they never televise that. But let's get back to the prison system. Okay. So let me see. I made a list. So they're away from their family. There's no jobs. Their mental health is whack because I mean, think about it. You're always on guard. Now, this guy that I work with, he was in prison, and his eyes are always bugged because he's always on alert. He's always watching out. He's always watching out for everyone around him, and that's from the prison system. I think it's someone who's from prison who spent a time in prison. and he ate so fast. Now he had been out for a while, and he had dated some. Well, he was married afterwards, and he's dated. He got divorced, and then he's dated some other women, or whatever. So, it wasn't like I met him right out of prison, or whatever. Most black men, not most, some of them. There's a large portion of black men who have, been in jail for some whatever reason, whatever. I don't discriminate, whatever, as long as you ain't got no disease or nothing, I'm good. Anyway, all that being said, we went to some restaurants, and I was just like, why do you eat so fast? What are you rushing for? And I was just bewildered at the fact that all of the women that he dated after he got out of jail, no one ever told him that. He was even married. Okay? And I'm not talking about, he wasn't married to no crackheads or anything. He was married to a CPA, and then, other, like, he likes top notch women or whatever. And I was just like, well, why is it that you eat so fast? I mean, we would go to restaurants or whatever, and then he would eat like, you know, before I could even almost put my fork to the plate, because when you're eating at a restaurant, you don't chow down or whatever. You take your time, you eat. You swallow your food and you speak, you talk or whatever. It's a social thing. I was like, oh my God. I think we went to two places. The first time I noticed it, but I was being graceful, whatever, and I was just like, okay, well, I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. But the second time when he did that, I said, okay, okay, all right, no, this is enough. Like, I don't know what's going on, but you don't have to eat that fast. And I don't know if he told me. Okay, he had not told me. I don't think that he went to jail or prison or wherever he went. So I didn't know. I was just like appalled. Like, why are you, what's there? But then I realized that, in prison, or I think he told me, or in jail, whatever. I don't know the difference between the two. You have to eat fast, because if you don't, you're on a time limit. I was like, okay. I have cousins who've been to jail, whatever. Yeah, uncles, uncle, uncles on both sides, yeah, who've been to jail. Or I think one uncle went to prison, right? So, I never paid attention. My son, he's never been in jail, whatever, but he's very slow, like very slow. I mean, if we go to a restaurant, then he'll eat fast, but he likes to sit in front of the TV and take his time in eating or whatever. But I was just so appalled. And this man was older than me, and I'm just like, but no one had ever told him. And I don't know if I embarrassed him, but he was embarrassing me for, like, chowing down. I was like, oh, no, honey, you don't do that. You don't, or, oh, I was like, are you really hungry? Or I just didn't understand. Anyway, so, that's just I don't know if that's a socialization of being in prison or in jail or whatever, but it's just little things like that, having the wide eye, always, being on guard, or, I don't know if it's being on guard or looking to get or scam somebody or something like that, or, but it's just those mannerisms that you obtain. But then, you know, I noticed again that, like, there's repeat offenders. And someone else told me, or heard, or read, or somewhere, that some men, oh no, one of the cold states during winter, people, like men, will continually commit crimes because it's better for them to be in jail than to be homeless on the streets. Now, that is just a little too much. That's a little too much. Now, I don't know what type of crimes are committed. I guess maybe robbery or something like that. But that's really sad when a grown man would rather be in jail because he has a place, a roof over his head. He gets guaranteed food. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if they get money. Well, I guess if they work in jail, they get money or something like that. I don't know, but I guess they would rather be, inside than outside, especially in the winter. That's ridiculous. Like in America, we don't have enough jobs to give men who are willing to work, at a living wage enough so that they can have a place to stay. But then again, for low cost or something, if you have a record or if you've been to jail, you don't qualify for certain things. You don't qualify for certain, living situations. Like, um, there's halfway houses, and then I guess there's houses for veterans, but are there houses for veterans who have been to prison? Like, I'm just thinking about what is going on with my community, meaning the black community. I mean, you have men, and this is not all black men. No, I'm not saying all black men have been to jail, but it's enough of them that have been to jail or who are in jail or who will go to jail that it's really making a difference. There's so many single parent households in the black community. Not all, but there's enough. There is enough. I think there's probably more in the black community than any other community. I could be wrong. I haven't looked at the stats, but by me, especially in the Bay Area, in California, there's a lot of single parents, single mothers, single fathers, baby mamas, baby daddies, you know what I'm saying, divorced, lots of black foster kids in the system. And then, so the statistics, I think it's like, is it 40 or 60% of the kids who are in foster care end up in jail? These numbers are staggering. There is no way that, kids, they've already had a traumatic life from either the situation that they were in with their parents or being taken away from the parents or being in foster care and being raped and molested and abused mentally and physically. And then from that, they go into the penal system, the prison system. That's just too much. And then from there, then what? Okay, yeah, you may have a few or many that come out and they're okay. But I can guarantee you, a child that's been from all of that damage all the way up to the top, they're not okay. They're just strong and they are succeeding. Okay? But deep down inside, something is going to, but you don't have to go through all that. I mean, there's people who have never been taken away from their parents who have issues. Moi. Okay? Hell, I should have been taken away. But anyway, that's a whole another video. That's a whole another video. But these are just terrifying facts. Like, what are we going to do? I mean, let's not even talk about once they're out or on the streets, or even if they don't even go to jail, how they could be stopped and killed just because they're black for no other reason whatsoever. If they blink, the cops shoot them. If they move their arm, the cops kill them. Not just shoot them, kill them. Just for no other reason because they're black. None whatsoever. None. Because when you think about it, when you compare the white and the black incidences, whites do get away with far more than blacks. Do whites do more crime? Yes, they do. They do. They do. I hate to say it. Whites do. There's more white crime, literally, than black crime. Not black on black, just white. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's because it's more whites. I don't know. But whites do commit more crimes. Are they shot and killed? No, they're not. Are they even targeted? Most of the time, no. No. But yet, the black man has been targeted since what, the past 800 years? Now, this is just some history. We are in black history. We are in black history, so let's talk about it. let's open up these discussions and see what can we do to get these numbers down. Like all of the guys who are in jail over weed, I hope they're out. I hope they're out. But we really need to, as a community, hit these jails and motivate and encourage these inmates to, give them hope, give them prayer, give them life, give them light. Shine upon them, because you know what? If we don't, the cycle is just going to continue. Just going to continue, and it's going to grow. The circle will be bigger and bigger and bigger. The percentages will be higher and higher and higher. Now listen, no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. But my heart is big. And as a human being on this earth, I have to do for others as I would like others to do unto me. Does that make sense?